What's up, soldiers? Steve Coyne here, and today we're talking about sandbag complexes. This is the best way to get better at anything involving sandbags. Okay, so what sandbag complexes are just breaking down each little section of the movement and drilling it bit by bit by bit by bit, but as one big superset. Okay, now this works particularly well for people that are going into a competition with a really heavy weight, and then also people that are limited to the size and weight of sandbags available at their home gym, their gym, or wherever they're training at. So what's so good about this is that we can build a lot of conditioning because we're gonna use higher reps, but we can also build speed, power, and force with a slightly lighter weight, and here's why. Force equals mass times acceleration. So you may be able to shoulder or lift a really, really heavy sandbag, but you're probably gonna do that slow. So your force output, if you have heavy weight, mass, and move it slowly, acceleration, is actually pretty low. As a concept you should use on every single lift when you're using lighter weights and accelerate them much, much, much faster and more violently, you're training your body to put out more force, which does transfer over to those heavier weights. So general concept, lighter weights, move them violently to get faster, okay? So here's what we're gonna do for a sandbag. Let's break down a sandbag to shoulder. We're gonna take this in 4 parts. 1 is using our upper back to pick and row off the ground. 2 is using our hamstrings and our glutes to stand up with it. 3 is using our low and mid back to finish that extension. 4 is a hip thrust and glute squeeze to shoulder up. So we're gonna take a row, an RDL, a good morning, and a hip thrust / extension all in one go to train this movement. Now, when you're doing this on your own, I recommend at least 5 reps of these at a time, even up to 10. But I personally really like that sweet spot of 6 to 8, that power building zone, to get the benefit of like moving a heavier weight, but light enough to where you can get conditioning and work on your speed and power. I'm just gonna do 3 of each to kind of show you what this looks like. But again, it's one after the other after the other. Now I am gonna do this with that like explosive intent. Here's what that looks like, starting with rows. Down to RDLs. Good mornings. Now extension. So you'd want to do that kind of at that pace the whole way through. Now it's always most important to make sure you're in control. So you don't want to be so erratic that you're like having a crap position with your arms or your hands. You always want to make sure that technique is right first. So as you're warming up for this, or practicing, or just starting a new block of this, start by making sure your technique is locked in and dialed in. But that's sort of your intention, is to really ramp up the speed and power of this. So as you can tell, my heart rate's beating right now, in order to get that conditioning and develop that ability to move through the entire lift with explosive force and intent. So if we were to combine all of that, right, into one go, easy. I can just rip it up just like that. So really awesome way to train your sandbags, in my opinion, maybe the best. So give it a go, but also think about what you need the most. If you have the hardest time picking it up off the ground, then you probably need to do a lot more of those rows and of those RDLs to drill that specific part. So let me know what you think. If you got any thoughts or comments, please drop them below. We'd love it if you liked the video. And please subscribe to the channel to get more content on strongman and all things to help you become your best, strongest self.